Presented by Cursed by the Witch. Warning, use headphones before listening to horror podcast story.
The Dollmaker's Curse is a terrifying tale of obsession, dark magic, and the consequences of disturbing ancient, malevolent forces. It tells the story of a reclusive dollmaker whose creations seem to carry more than just the craftsmanship of his hands. Each doll holds a sinister presence that slowly unravels the lives of those who come into contact with them. As the story unfolds, it explores themes of human vanity, cursed objects, and the overwhelming power of a deal with forces far beyond human understanding. Part 8. The Dollmaker's Workshop. The story begins in a small, fog-shrouded town in Eastern Europe, where rumors swirl about an aging dollmaker named Gregor Vasiliev. Gregor's dolls are unlike any other, remarkably lifelike, with eyes that seem to follow you wherever you go, and an unsettlingly human presence in their delicate porcelain features. Though his work is coveted by collectors and families seeking the perfect gift for their children, there is a darker side to his art. Gregor is known to be an odd, reclusive man, rarely leaving his workshop except to sell his dolls to the few who can afford them. His shop, tucked away in a forgotten alley, has an atmosphere that is as eerie as it is enchanting. The shelves are lined with rows upon rows of dolls, some elegant and beautiful, others grotesque and unnerving, with eyes that gleam unnaturally in the dim light. Unbeknownst to the townspeople, Gregor's dolls are not just toys. Decades ago, he made a pact with a malevolent spirit, exchanging his soul for the ability to create the most perfect and lifelike dolls. But this gift came with a terrible curse. Every doll he creates traps a fragment of a human soul, slowly siphoning the life from its owner. The dolls are cursed objects, vessels for dark magic that feed on their owner's vitality, turning their lives into a living nightmare. Part 2. The Mysterious Commission. The plot takes a dark turn when a wealthy and powerful family, the Marenkovs, commissions Gregor to create a custom doll for their daughter, Anya, as a gift for her 12th birthday. The Marenkovs, oblivious to Gregor's cursed craft, are drawn to his reputation for making the finest dolls in the country. Anya, a spoiled but lonely child, has an obsession with dolls, filling her room with them as companions in her otherwise isolated life. Gregor, intrigued by the large sum offered by the Marenkovs, agrees to the commission, but from the moment he begins to work on the doll, something feels different. The doll he creates for Anya is more lifelike than any he has ever made before, as if the spirit within it is more powerful, more aware. The doll's eyes seem to watch Gregor as he works, its smile unsettlingly wide and filled with malice. When the doll is completed, Gregor feels a sense of dread, but he delivers it to the Marenkovs nonetheless. Anya is immediately captivated by the doll, which she names Lydia, and refuses to be parted from it, carrying it with her wherever she goes. Part 3. The Curse Takes Hold. At first, the Marenkov family is thrilled with the doll, impressed by its craftsmanship and the joy it brings to Anya. However, it doesn't take long for strange things to start happening. Anya begins to change, her bright and energetic personality fades, replaced by bouts of lethargy, mood swings, and dark, unsettling behavior. She becomes fixated on Lydia, speaking to the doll as if it were a living being, and often claims that Lydia whispers secrets to her at night. Soon, the other members of the household notice eerie occurrences. Anya's mother, Irina, feels cold, invisible hands brushing against her skin when she's alone, and she begins to hear footsteps in the hallways, though no one is there. Anya's father, Sergei, suffers from vivid nightmares in which Lydia, the doll, grows to human size and stalks him through the house, her porcelain face cracking with every step, revealing a shadowy, twisted figure beneath. As the days go on, Anya's health deteriorates. Dark circles form under her eyes, and she begins to look gaunt and frail, as though something is draining the life from her. The once warm and lively family home takes on a suffocating atmosphere, filled with cold drafts, flickering lights, and the pervasive sense that something malevolent is watching them all. Part 4. The Truth of the Dollmaker's Curse. Desperate to save their daughter, the Marinkovs consult doctors and priests, but no one can explain the strange phenomena plaguing their home. Irina, frantic with worry, returns to Gregor's shop, demanding to know what is wrong with the doll he created. Gregor, guilt-ridden, finally reveals the truth about his curse and the terrible price of his creations. He explains that the doll contains a piece of Anya's soul, which is being siphoned away to feed the dark force within the doll. The more Anya interacts with Lydia, the stronger the doll's hold over her becomes. If the curse is not broken, Anya's soul will be consumed entirely, leaving her a hollow, lifeless shell. Gregor admits that the curse cannot easily be undone. Once a soul is trapped within one of his dolls, it is nearly impossible to break the connection. The only way to free Anya is to destroy Lydia, but doing so carries great risk. The dark force within the doll is not merely a passive presence, it is a vengeful entity, one that will not allow its vessel to be destroyed without a fight. Part 5. The Battle for Anya's Soul. Determined to save their daughter, the Marinkovs prepare to destroy the doll, despite Gregor's warnings. That night, as a storm rages outside, they gather in the house's drawing room, Lydia sitting eerily still in the center of the room. As Sergei raises a hammer to smash the doll, the atmosphere in the house changes. The temperature drops sharply, and the lights flicker before going out entirely. In the darkness, the family hears the soft creaking of the doll's joints and the rustling of fabric, as though Lydia is moving on her own. When the lights return, the doll is no longer where they left it. Lydia is standing upright, her once delicate face twisted into a grotesque smile, her eyes gleaming with malevolence. What follows is a nightmarish battle for Anya's soul. The entity within Lydia has grown powerful from feeding on Anya's life force, and it lashes out with supernatural fury. Objects in the room fly through the air, windows shatter, and the house itself seems to groan under the weight of the malevolent presence. The family fights to destroy the doll, but every attempt is met with resistance. Each strike against it sends waves of cold, paralyzing fear through the room, as though the very air is filled with the entity's wrath. Just as all hope seems lost, Anya, weak and barely conscious, reaches out to the doll. With the last of her strength, she speaks to Lydia, telling the entity that it cannot have her soul, that she will not let it win. Her words seem to momentarily weaken the doll's hold, giving Sergei the opportunity to strike the final blow. With a resounding crack, the porcelain doll shatters, and the entity within it screams, a high-pitched, inhuman sound that echoes through the house before fading into silence. Part 6. The Aftermath. In the aftermath of the battle, Anya slowly recovers, her vitality returning over the following weeks. The house, once filled with dark, oppressive energy, feels lighter, as though the curse has been lifted. However, the Marinkovs are forever changed by the experience. They leave the town, hoping to put the nightmare behind them, but they are haunted by the knowledge of what nearly happened. As for Gregor Vasiliev, he disappears soon after the doll's destruction. His workshop is found abandoned, the shelves empty and the tools covered in dust. Some say he fled, fearing retribution for the curses he had unleashed upon the world. Others believe that the entity he had made a pact with finally claimed him, dragging him into the same darkness that had once inhabited his dolls. But the curse of the Dollmaker does not end with Gregor's disappearance. In the final scene, A child playing in a distant town finds a small, broken doll in an alleyway. The doll's porcelain face is cracked, but its eyes still gleam with an unnatural light. The child picks it up, and as they walk away, the faintest whisper can be heard on the wind, "I'm not finished yet." The Dollmaker's Curse is a chilling tale of dark magic and the dangerous power of cursed objects. It explores the lengths people will go to for beauty and perfection, and the price they pay when they tamper with forces beyond their control. The story builds tension through the creeping presence of the doll, culminating in a terrifying showdown that leaves both the characters and the reader questioning what truly lies behind those lifelike eyes.
Thank you for watching. Just like and subscribe.